Hello, my lovelies. I'm Ginny O, the author with no last name, and today I want to talk about Star Staples' July game blog, which is why we're here at the website on the game blog. Fancy that. Now, I haven't actually talked about a game blog post in a while. I think the last one was when Stacy came out to go saying, I don't know why people are so mad at me for saying we don't have a quest team when they really want quests. Like, seriously? So, I am going to do my best to be polite during this video. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to succeed, but I will do my best to be polite. And because I've already given my feedback for this event for the most part, and reading the blog has not made me any more calm about it. It's actually kind of pissed me off all over again. And so I just want to go through it and get through some of the, get through some of the things that they're saying here. And this is the July blog. It's about Camp Western and a roadmap update, and there's also a bit in here about lunging. So, there's a way to turn the bookmarks toolbar. Okay. Only show on your tab. There we go. Now you don't need to see that. Jeez. So, we begin with Camp Western, and it's by Bretton Hamilton, they, them, the lead game designer, and apparently Carolina and May Aaron also are talking about this. One's a content game designer, and the other is a 3D artist. In this part of the blog. So, Bretton is a they, them, and I'll try to use they, them the entire time, either to talk about Game Master B individually, that's who Bretton is, or they, them as a group. So he's starting to talk about, when we started Camp Western, we began by investigating what the spirit of the West is, especially the Western lifestyle means in Jorvik. And then they sat down and talked about their childhood experiences. Discovering wolf tracks while lost in woods, hiking during a storm, escaping a stampede of cows, and many other adventurous tales. They noticed a common theme among the stories which stuck with us the most, which was danger. How can we add a sense of danger to Star Stable? And also add rewards worth braving that challenge. Dear group of people sitting in that room doing these stories. Those stories you were telling each other about the hiking through the storm and finding wolf tracks and escaping a stampede of cows and, all this. All this stuff. Stuff that, I've never escaped a stampede of cows, but, I've been out there, I've been hiking in the woods, I've come across deer, I've been places where I've been camping and bears are wandering across the campsite. And all of that, hiking up a ski slope, all of that is so much more exciting. It's so much more interesting than what you gave us. You had it all right there. You could sit down taking notes of all your experiences as children, going fishing, and maybe a bear comes across the lake and bats up a fish, or going berrying. I don't know what your stories were, but they're a lot more exciting than what we got. You need an author. This is why you need some sort of storyteller on your team that does this professionally for a living. You can make slice of life exciting. I know, I do it all the time. This is why you need somebody there to go, no, let's go with the stories. Let's get the people immersed in the stories. Okay. Instead, so yes. All the way back to Star Stable Autumn Riders, when we go to Firgrove, we find out that Firgrove has walls around it because of wolves. And during the game in Star Stable Online, we go out and we put out some beef bones from Grandma to lure the wolves away from the sheep pit. This wouldn't work, by the way. It's just, that's called baiting the wolves, and in most places it's illegal. But you know, I wasn't going to write in a support message and be like, could you change this, please? So, or chicken bones to lead them away from the chickens and the sheep. Like, it was just a nonsensical quest, and I wasn't going to argue with it at the time. So, yes, that is actually part of Jorvik lore. Yay! Using Jorvik lore. And you wanted to explore risk and reward gameplay. Danger. So instead of, I don't know, we're on a hike and we see a bear and we have to carefully either run away or back off and stay out of like the bear's zone, you know, like you have those circles with the red lights, and maybe the bear has a circle with red lights and we've got to stay out of that zone so the bear doesn't notice us. This would be a lot better if you were using black bears rather than brown bears. But digression again, that would be danger. That would give us a mechanic we can see on the screen, and you know, a little bit of heart thumping as we watch the bear wander across the path that, you know, we're out there hiking, getting berries. I mean, leading our horse, whatever. Or maybe we need to get up on our horse. Maybe we get up because we don't know if we need to run away or not. That would have been danger. What you gave us was you piled wolves and bears on top of each other. So much so that those sheep would no longer exist. The bull would no longer exist. None of the animals in Firgrove, as it is, would exist because the wolves would be killing them, and the wolves would be so rabidly hungry they would either be going after each other or us, the humans, or they'd be going off into Silverglade, okay? That's not dangerous. That's annoyingly, aggravatingly frustrating. And you lost. After you took the exploit out, I watched on my server, and it's a low pop server where over half of the people noped out. You lost people because of this. Okay? Alright, so this one paragraph here. We spent several weeks prototyping and planning the gameplay. You needed more than several weeks, you needed months, and intended interactions. There were few technical challenges we had hoped to overcome, such as allowing the beast to collide with fences and obstacles. This would have allowed players to leap over logs and fences to escape a hunt. But unfortunately, we needed to do a bit more code work to allow this type of gameplay in the future. You implemented a feature that was half done. Please, in the future, do not tell us this, because you're going to get my exact reaction. And my exact reaction is you should not have implemented this feature into the game unless you took the months it took to implement, test it, and make sure it worked properly. I am tired of being behind animals, and they decide to jump backwards and come at me because I don't know where your aggro even starts. I have walked past animals that are sleeping and I am behind them and they wake up and they charge at me. I am walking on a horse, okay? Granted, on a horse is not a good idea to be doing this, but I can't be running through here as a human either. You have to give us some sort of visible mechanic on the screen with these wolves and these bears for us to know what the hell is going on. And you need to start implementing features only when they're completed. I am tired, and I know other players are really tired of being test bunnies, of being guinea pigs. My other video explains exactly how many wolves you could have had and why, and I'm gonna just refer you back to that video. Okay. So thank you for adding some gameplay that didn't require timed stuff. I'm going to agree with that because this is the first time in a long while where you're trying to add more challenging, long-lasting gameplay that does not exist on a time schedule. We hope the rewards and treasures are worthwhile. No, they're not, but anyway. We'd really love feedback on our beasts. Do you enjoy being hunted by these dangerous beasties? Are the rewards exciting enough to inspire you to enter the wilderness? Would you like to see these beasts and gold nuggets added permanently to the area? So, we apologize for the temporary disruption to other quests in Furgrove and Starshine. You'll have a break from the beast at the end of Camp Western. Okay, so if you add those beasts and gold nuggets permanently to the area, we're no longer going to have a temporary disruption to quests and races in Furgrove and Starshine, so you got to work that out. Just saying. Alright, I'm going to get back to the feedback bit. I have a platform to do this from. Most people don't. So we're going to go back to that at the end of this video because I noticed things at the beginning and things at the end tend to be, you know, not viewed the most, but the most impactful. So we're going to hit on that at the end. So the next thing here they talk about is lunging. As I said in my other video, I really don't have a lot of notes about lunging. I do have 2 more notes. One, there's the green circles on the ground are not your actual action circles. The actions where you need to be walking or trotting or whatever is like a horse length in front of it. That's confusing. And the other thing is I still do not know what that focus bar is for. It doesn't seem to be a time limit, and it doesn't seem to actually affect how my horse is behaving. So I need to know if how my horse is behaving to that focus mechanic that is slowly going down. So if it's going down, I need to see that my horse is acting out more. If the horse is highly focused, then they get more focused the less blue there is, or is there more focus the more blue there is? And what they're doing while they're lunging, so let's say, I hit something. I hit a green circle correctly and I get the little hearts. The focus needs to go up. If I missed it, the focus needs to go down. Okay? Just something like that, something visual I can see on the screen to do that. And the tutorial. You guys need to do a tutorial. And then once again, we're being guinea pigs here. Opportunities to try something new and gather your feedback. You guys need to be doing this with a test team, not with your entire player base. And you haven't asked for feedback yet. There's no feedback thing on the embassy. I don't know if you're taking feedback on Instagram. Who in hell is using Twitter anymore now that it's X? I don't know, not me. But this was, once again, I really didn't have a lot to say. Now they're talking about making it so that you can turn the horse when you're lunging, change directions. So in order to do that, you are definitely going to have to implement some type of tutorial, because that means you're probably going to be incorporated something like the shift key or the control key, or even the Q and the E key. So the players need to know what keys do what. W and S means the horse moves circles, A and D means the horse moves gates, Q and E could mean they're changing direction, or shift could be changing direction. I don't know, but you need a tutorial. Alright, so those are my notes on lunging. I'm not even going to bother reading that because, blah, blah, blah. It was a cute little anecdotal thing. That's nice. You can read it yourself. Environment updates. Once again, I'm not going to read this. I don't care. It was very cute. Well done. Very nice. Woo! Now, the last part of this blog is a bit by Jane. And I was going to go, look for horses while we did this, but I haven't really had a chance, huh? But this is by Jane, and she's talking about the yearly roadmap for Star Stable and how much they've completed versus how much they haven't. So The avatar has come out. That's great. And there's going to be an in-game survey you can find in the game until the 6th of September. I don't know where we're going to be finding it. I haven't come across it yet. But they've given us right here a picture of my highest wish is to see more options for body types, face shapes, skin colors, or hair and makeup. They have apparently not really learned too much from my survey. I don't know how many more questions this has, but there better be like there should be at least 4 questions, 1 for each answer. Because right now my highest wish is for all of the above. And I don't have a higher priority for anything because they need to add more of everything as soon as possible. That is, after they finish refactoring their inventory. I can understand that refactoring the inventory is a big idea, but when you're doing these surveys, the Western survey was pretty blah. It was very bland, and it didn't even address the animals. You know, what people felt about the wolves. Did the wolves get them to play the game? There needed to be some incentive for people to log in and take the survey too, and that needed to be blasted on all social media. So players would know to log in and do the survey, and that probably should have been done on the 2nd week, not the 3rd. But anyway, while people were still logging in, because a lot of people drop out by the 3rd week, even though in this time they dropped out on the 2nd week. So there better be like 4 or 5 questions just about what we want to see, so they can get some ideas of priorities. That's just the thing. If this is the only question, then we have problems. But they need more of everything, but they have to refactor their inventory first, and I'd really like to hear more about where they are on that, which they don't really cover in this thing. They brought us new horses, and so they've said on their Never Stop Believing layer, they've managed to release everything they had planned for this year halfway through the year. So let's see, hopefully they will continue to be able to finish everything on their roadmap, and maybe they'll get beyond everything they had on their roadmap. Who knows? Let's hope they can over-deliver. And so there's a lot of rehashing here. So they're going to be adding multiplayer stuff during the Winter Festival. So if you have friends on Discord, you might want to, get them together now. I'll probably be on Discord going, who wants to come to my server and do group things? Test this out. I don't really like group functions, in MMOs, so I hope there's also a way for single players to do the exact same things. Usually I don't have any problems during the winter event getting everything that I want, because I never want everything, so there's that, but we'll see. And they're supposed to be revamping the Hollow Woods this year. We'll see if they get to that. So they're making progress on the inventory revamp. We have no idea how much progress this is because we don't know exactly what they're trying to do. What is the end goal here? And they're going to, it's either like it's super boring and really techy, and it's like, so things like customizing our stable and the paddock, new tack for our horses, avatar item slots like wearing multiple accessories and different types of makeup, new UI functionality and space in your wardrobe, and enhanced backpack experience. And I'm not entirely sure what we need an enhanced backpack experience for, but hopefully this will also mean that they will be able to refactor the avatars enough that we can choose our own eyes, nose, and mouth, and face shape. That way, right now they're saying they can't do that, and that'd be great if they actually could do that. And so they're going, so 3 additions have been made to the new layer. So they're going to add back the arrows to the mobile thing. They're not going to remove the joystick, but you get to choose between the joystick and the arrows. Currently, your joystick is just actually arrows. So if they improve the joystick and, you know, give you back your arrows, you'll at least be able to choose between whether or not you want joystick, you know, that's actually arrows, or arrows, so you can see what you're doing. And what I mean by that is that they gave you this joystick, right? But really what it is just it's just a graphical thing, basically. Underneath it, the coding is still the arrows. At least according to everybody who's used the mobile in my Discord. They're telling me it's not actually a joystick. So, but you'll be able to get your arrows back hopefully in the near future. And they're also going to add a memorial area inspired by Violet Flower Garden. And they're going to be you know, it will be for influencer players that have left us too soon, I guess. And we'll see what that looks like as well. And here I find the most important thing that they're moving far too slowly on is they are going to create a region for the Ukrainian players. They're going to give the Ukrainian players their own server. They should have been done within 3 months of the war starting, but here we are. So it's going to take, you have to add a new server into the existing Russian regions. These offers the players, Ukrainian players, a chance to move there and then split it from the Russian region into its own region. Okay, so more info to come in August. It is coming. They are slow as sludge, but it is coming. Good. That is something that has been really bothering people for a while, and they should have been jumping on this a lot sooner. But they were probably, you know, oh no, the Avatar, oh no, we're doing this new festival, we don't have time for this. No, you have time for this. This should have been a priority. And then we have new ideas here. Once again, Generation 4 horses. They are still exploring what magic is to Jorvik and exploring the role of pets in the game. So things that have been delayed are the retrofitting a track, and they have working on bugs and glitches. You know, because we've had a lot of bugs and glitches, especially in the main storyline, and this is not good when you're charging AAA prices for your game, okay? So they're going to be refactoring the item selections of their server, the item databases, that's good, and they're working on upgrading the engine, which is also good, but we're not going to hear more about that until August. Alright, so a couple places in this blog, we have what is called, in the content creators space, calls to action. They have been asking us questions and wanting our feedback about certain things, like all the way back up here. You know, we'd really love feedback on our beasts. And then there was, did you have fun with the lunging? We hope you had fun with the lunging. Tell us about it. We are eager to hear your thoughts on this new feature and strive to expand and improve it so lunging can be enjoyed just beyond festivals. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I'm putting this in last because this is really important. With the blog posts, there is no way for us to comment on them and give our feedback. Okay? We literally can't go to the blog and write a response, write a comment. Call to actions are ways in the content creator space for creators to go, please, I want you to interact with my content to up it in the algorithm. Because we are, you know, slaves to an algorithm. If you guys don't, you know, say you like our videos or leave a comment, our video gets just buried by these programs, I don't want to call them AI, but little programs created by YouTube and Google and Facebook and all that. And WordPress has them. Tumblr doesn't have them, but you know, Tumblr uses a user-created, quote-unquote, algorithm. That if you don't do that to our posts, that means YouTube, like, if you don't like this video, which I don't ask you to, because I'm not like that. If you don't like this video, and you don't leave a comment on this video, then overall, YouTube will say, well, this is a bad video, and nobody wants to see it. So it won't come up in searches. I didn't mean to go this way. So because it won't come up in searches, that means less people will see it, and I won't get as much, you know, interaction on it. I won't get as many views, and if any of my videos were actually monetized, which they aren't, I wouldn't be getting any type of, I wouldn't be getting any monetization. I wouldn't be getting any money off of them. Well, that was handy. I've noticed that sometimes you will get keys and stuff near where there's a freaking chest. Oops. Hi. We're going this way. If I have to run around in a circle, I will. See? Like, now I don't want to. I want to stay here. Okay. Is he still there? Okay, he's gone. So now we have to be careful about where the other wolf is. Yeah, he's gonna come. Oh well. 25. Alright, so if we don't get the feedback, it just gets buried and people don't even see it. They don't know it exists, so they can't watch it, and we won't get as much money if we're monetized. I'm not monetized. I don't have enough, you know, I don't have enough followers to be monetized. So it's really, really, you know, bad for us if that happens. Okay. So what Star Stable is doing is they're putting in a call for action, but they're giving us absolutely no way on that blog page. There's no little feedback section, there's no comment section, whatever, to actually get back to them. So you kind of hit this wall, you know, oh, we really want to know about it, but you hit the wall. And you're like, well, Ginny, you can contact support. Okay. First off, I have to log in. Then I have to go to the contact us page or whatever, the help section. It's a really complicated, involved process that's not actually really that it's not intuitive. It's really hard to find, it's really hard to see. Like, I have had to explain how to do this multiple times on the on my Discord. I've seen people have to explain how to do it on Reddit. It's not an intuitive thing. There is no real great feedback button for people to be like, oh, here, give feedback to Star Stable through the website, okay? And this is really awful because it's also your report function. They make this really, really hard. It makes it very difficult to report, you know, misbehavior in the game. And it's kind of on purpose because when they added the report button in the Swedish servers, they got 10 times more, you know, reports than they did on servers that don't have the report function in them, which means that your game really, 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 really needs some moderation. So they are like, oh, we want you to get back to you, but then they make it really, really hard for you to get back to them unless you go to Instagram or you go to Twitter. But if you go to Instagram or Twitter or whatever, you have this problem that you're doing this in a public forum. So even if you have good critical feedback that would be helpful to the team, that it gets lost because you're going to have a lot of people downvoting it, or a lot of people saying be grateful, or you're not even sure it gets read by the PR team. And then, because we know how bad Star Stable support is, and they've confessed that they've used artificial intelligence bots to read the thing to get back to people, giving them feedback and in support through an email through their support function is like feeding it into a shredder. So you want to go over to the embassy and give it to the embassy. Well, you can only do it, and not have it drowned out by everything else in the feedback loop. I mean, there's only less than 5,000 people in the embassy anyway. But the only place where it's not drowned out would be a specific place, a specific area in the embassy, like a specific thread, feedback thread in the embassy for people to read. And then, you're gonna be dealing with the fact that, you've got a certain amount of bias in the embassy. They are very picky in the embassy on how you present things, so you might not be able to present it in the manner that you want to present it. They also have certain bots in the embassy that make it really hard to, discuss things like the body proportions and stuff for the avatar feedback. And right now, as of the time I'm recording this, they still have not created that specific thread in the Embassy Discord. And you also, by the way, have to know the Embassy Discord exists and be invited to it. That's another problem. So it is great that you're putting in these calls for action, that you're putting in this asking for feedback. You want to know what we think. The problem is you give us no way to tell us what you think, and we know that if we send it to support, it's just going to end up in a shredder of nonsense. Now, I have a platform. This is my YouTube channel, and I can say things like this on my YouTube channel. But a lot of people do not have platforms. So I know it's going to be tough. You're going to have to add some sort of module to the blog posts if you want. You will have to moderate the comments. It could be possible that you could put it in and say all comments are moderated so people can't see them until, they're approved. You have a lot of PR people, so just put somebody on it. That's all you have to do. You're going to have to assign somebody, and you're going to be getting feedback. When I was doing my survey, I got lots of feedback in Russian, of all things. It was just like, oh, okay. But, so you have to, if you're going to give us a call for action, and you're going to ask us, did you enjoy the beasts? No, I did not. I do not enjoy this, okay? Notice I'm, running around in circles while trying to do things. It does not make me want to explore Fir Grove. Did you enjoy the lunging? The lunging is fine. Just give me a little bit more tutorials and clean up your mechanics a little bit. You don't have to do too much. But you gotta give us a way to give you feedback easily in more than just the 5,000 people on, Discord. And ways to do it that are private, that we know that somebody is actually going to read it. And don't give me the stupidity that, oh, we have everybody, every single email gets read. No, we know it doesn't. Okay, not when we're having to work with 3 different people and we get these, messages that are, not even related to the questions we ask, and, when we give you relevant information and then oh, we have to go through this step by step. No, just, no, we know you're not actually reading the emails. We know that. Okay, so, in conclusion, before this gets too much longer, you guys, you need writers. You need creative, narrative, design, writing people, because you are almost 11 years into this game. So you need to know what your magic is. You need to know how that magic is going to work mechanically. You need to know, what the Western spirit of Jorvik means. You need a fashion person too, because that fashion person can work with you and come up with creative, interesting, extravagant, high concept, top 20% Western designs for this event and for the game in general, because right now you've got right now is pretty lackluster. You have to give us an ability to actually get back to you if you want feedback. Okay, without that, I mean, like I said, I have a platform, but little Johnny on the spot doesn't. Little Jill does not have a YouTube channel with 500 people, and I know it's not a lot, but it's still a platform, behind them to be able to go, oh, this is what we thought about the festival, okay? And please, please, take your little anecdotal stories and work them into the festival. Destroy 3/4 of your wild animals. Make your bears black. Come up with, you've got an entire gray area on the map in those mountains that you could put more map there, with mines and hiking with trails, and give us a trail ride, give us a hiking ride, lots of berries for the deer and the bears, and even the wolves will actually eat berries. Give us the bears some place to go fishing. And these are not all my ideas. Thank you, T, for these ideas. T, I want you to I give full credit to T for some of these ideas, but give a way for people to get feedback in the game and make the Western event actually Western. Buffalo pronghorns aren't actually deer, but they're antelope. They're a little different, but you could put in some deer, more deer, buffalo, deer. Give us some jackalope. Have us hunt the jackalope. A cow stampede. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Going hiking, having storms, story storms. Give us something, finding wolf prints. Maybe we're going to take some plaster and make little wolf print things with them. I don't know. I don't really care. I just want this event to feel more wild, more Western, and not be 101 fetch quests that, are already in the game somewhere. Anyways, guys, that was the July blog post. My main takeaway from it is they really need us to give a way to give them feedback that they will actually use, that is private, so that we can say that. And I do hope their survey skills improve. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. And I really want them to stop treating the entire player base as guinea pigs. Take some more time to do stuff. Work it out. Playtest it. Playtest it with people in the age group. Make sure you have your tutorials written. Make sure you have a story. This could be a great event. Right now, it's just a little lackluster. And that blog post was a little lackluster. Alright. Take care of yourselves, my lovelies. Bless, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.